What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Uriah for the hub of the fantasy football with my co-host Foley.
Hello.
How's everybody doing? You doing okay, Foley? Well, look, I wanted to give a quick shout out to our tens of fans. Saw a big rocket up on our playlist. So, I mean, hey, I'll take it. And if any of y'all would like to donate to make us do this full time, hey, I'm sure Foley would be more than happy to quit his job to do this full time, right?
Yeah, if we bring in enough of them Benjamins.
Well, look, before we get started, we're going to shout out for a little bit of news. The only thing I really saw that made much of a rock is in the boat would be Mr. Kirk Cousins to the Raiders. How are we feeling about that, Foley? Are we looking at the de facto number one for this year, or for at least like 5-6 games?
I think he's a great veteran presence for Fernando Mendoza. You know, I'm always in favor of there being a quality, experienced veteran in the room with the rookie quarterback.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think it's a little weird. What is weird about it is, of all the people, Kirk Cousins is one that we now have like on record very recently of him not being okay with sharing a quarterback room with a rookie. But he chose to go here. And he said, I think just today, like, they should start whoever, even if it's not me. They should start the best quarterback, even if it's not me. But it doesn't track with what he was acting like just 2 years ago, or even last year, when he was so furious to be
with Penix.
Michael Penix, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Do I think it's good? Yes. I thought the whole salary structure was kind of weird. Like, I mean, I know it's from like past great signings, but I mean, I don't know, for them to include that was just kind of like, oh, interesting.
Can I go on a rant here?
Please do. Tell me all about how people make too much money in the NFL.
It's not even that. I am so sick of the quote-unquote insider journalists.
Me and you both. Really?
Well, Ian Rappaport did. With that one, he just literally like tweeted the screenshot that the Raiders, or he posted the screenshot of the Raiders announcing it and added some stuff. Here's what I want our listeners, our tens of fans to understand. 9 times out of 10, when you're seeing something from Schefter, when you're seeing something from Ian Rappaport, this is not any kind of investigative journalism.
Not at all.
They're being handed a press release and they're copying and pasting it into their Twitter. That's why a lot of times you'll see these posts that are like, deal by Ari whoever. Like, they're shouting out the agent on it because they're just copying and pasting this PR nonsense.
The AP notice. I mean,
it's not even AP. Like, it's just they're being handed this press release.
Yeah,
and it's so self-promotional to one side or another, and that's how you end up with this idea that what Travis Kelce has was a 3-year deal worth however many millions of dollars, or same with Kirk Cousins. When in reality,
absolutely,
it's a 1-year deal for significantly less money, and there's a bunch of void years on the contract. But the agents are going to tell you. The agents don't want to talk about that. The agents want it to sound like the biggest number possible. And because these quote-unquote journalists aren't doing any actual journalism, they're just regurgitating this nonsense.
Look, the agents want the Bobby Bonilla deal, where, somebody gets paid $1 million for 40 years down the road. But what the agents, like you said, they want prospective people, clients, to see, hey man, these guys got a bunch of money. I got to go sign with this guy. I mean, look, I agree. Look, we get the same information from the Sleeper app that we do from Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter.
It's terrible.
Look,
disgrace.
Look, do they have insider knowledge? Sometimes, yes. Yes, I will give them that. But come on, like you said, it's just regurgitation.
Yeah.
And this also, look, another rant. This will also go for all the many other guys on podcasts that will give you all this regurgitated material about such and such this and such this. I'm going to speak from the numbers. Foley's going to speak from his analytics, which, if you don't know, is a big, big thing.
Yes.
So, look, I'm going to give you my opinion, and it's not always going to be the right opinion, but it's my opinion. So suck it.
What do you think?
It is. Suck a popsicle.
See Adam Schefter tweeting out like, "Oh my gosh, look at Patrick Mahomes and his incredible recovery from the ACL tear. Look what he's already doing." And it's actually a very normal thing for someone to be able to do at this stage in the ACL recovery. But the agent just sent him this video and was like, "This amazing recovery. Look at this. Hype him up."
As he slides the 20, he sandwiches the 20 between the release and the,
It was literally just him standing still throwing a football. Like, yes, that's he's months removed from this. Yes, he can stand and throw a ball.
It was on his leg, not his arm, but whatever.
Right. It's so ridiculous.
Look, let's move on. The best quarterback in the room will be Kirk Cousins, not the other guy. Anyway.
I'm not going to say you're wrong. I think that is possible. But I mean, Cousins is still not a bad quarterback. He might still be a top 32 quarterback, but he just can't move. Like, even to run the bootleg, he just can't do it. Or just out of
and look, with that offensive line, somebody's going to need to run.
Yeah. So I'm not a Cousins hater by any means.
Yeah.
I think he is he through his career has been this perfectly slightly above mid. He's always in that 8 to 12 range when he was in Minnesota.
Yep.
I don't think by the end of the year he's the best quarterback in that room. Maybe he is to start with.
Yeah, it's totally a coin flip situation. We just don't know yet. And a lot of that, which we'll get into right now, we're talking about positionals in the draft, and not so much what it has to do with fantasy, but more like who we think the better people are. When it comes to fantasy, we will get back into that after the draft and address all that. So,
just say to all of our haters who will eventually come back with receipts on some of the things you and I have said.
Oh, absolutely.
I have some takes. We've gone through quarterbacks and running backs already. I have had some takes that you have disagreed with. You've had some takes that I've disagreed with. But what I do want to remind everyone is that the best scouts in the world are right 60% of the time. The worst scouts in the world are right 30% of the time. So it's like, I mean, 60 in school is a failing grade. The reality is nobody's great at this. Nobody. I think most people, I'm 50 or 60% hit rate, but that's still I'm still wrong.
It's not good. Yeah. Look, and I think we've always addressed this on this podcast. Do your own research. Be your own person. That's what we do. Are we great? No, but you always, yeah.
Nobody great at this.
Yeah. Anyway, we're not going. I'm not going to go down that road. But let's move on to the wide receivers of 2026. I would like to preface this whole thing by saying this draft is going to be a boom or bust draft. I don't think, in general, I do not think anybody is just blowing there's one person that blows my socks off in this draft, and that's it. And it's in a position that no NFL team really values in today's game. That's Jeremiah Love. What? Yeah. I mean, I think he's the best not positional player that is valued. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's valuing like left tackles, and there's not really a left tackle in this draft. But
I think I'd give it to Sonny Styles. But again, that's a position of.
Yes, and you could argue. We'll get into it. You could argue. Well, we already have. But I mean, you can get into. Was he a rusher in college? No, but I mean, I feel like this whole draft is. He could be great, but
yeah, that's my concern with Darnell Reese. Yeah. I agree with you. There's a ton of people that we're going to talk about some of these wide receivers.
Oh yeah, we're going to get into it
to make it make sense.
All right,
number one. Like, do we want to start? I'm sure we both have the same number one. I will caveat. As much as like with running backs, I go zone and gap. I go even crazier with wide receivers. I've got them into 4 distinct categories. So my rankings are really all over the place here.
So
But I think I agree.
Carnell Tate.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you want to go into it? Well, I'll defer.
Sure. I mean, look, the dude is good. The big knock on him is going to be that he was the number 2 in this offense behind Jeremiah Smith. The same thing was said last year about Emeka Egbuka. I think Carnell Tate is better than Egbuka, and I love Egbuka.
Yeah.
He's such a
route.
His ball skills are phenomenal. He did not drop a single pass this year. He's, I think, the only wide receiver who can say that. So he's very, very good. A lot of people are going to say he's just a Z. He's a little bit light. I know he didn't have a good 40 time, but he's faster than his 40 time shows. Yeah. I have mostly good things to say, but the only negative things, like the reason even he is a little bit of a projection is I think he can be a very, very good X wide receiver, but he didn't really play that. He always played the Z.
Yeah.
And again, like he was always the number 2. So you have to project that he can step up and be a number 1.
So, I'll go with my pros. I mean, he produced the last 2 years. So, I mean, I have to, from a numbers point, I got to take that. Second, he's an Ohio State wide receiver. Brian Hartline has produced some phenomenal wide receivers. He's not a burner. That's a con. But he runs a phenomenal route tree. So good. But, like you said, number 2, not playing in the best conference. It's okay conference. I know you may defer to that, but look, the Big Ten does not have a slew of number 1 and number 2 cornerbacks, which you got to think about that. The number 1 cornerback is going to be on Jeremiah Smith. So he's playing on subpar number 2s. So take that in effect.
I'm sorry to cut you off. The one thing I will say there, though, is, and there's kind of like a trade-off here.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times he was facing the number 1 corner because Jeremiah Smith was getting double-teamed by the number 2 corner and a safety. But what he never saw was getting double-teamed.
Yeah. I will say this. On these group of guys, I've kind of changed up a little bit. I would say he has a 70% chance to be a very good number 1 in the NFL. So
I can get on board with that. I think he has the just highest floor.
Yes.
Nothing else. He is so safe. And
absolutely.
A couple of players that are very, very safe that we'll talk about, but he is by far the safest and has as high of a ceiling as anyone.
I totally agree with that. So I'm going to kind of go with around the rankings. Number 2, I got Jordan Tyson.
Yeah. He's my number 2 Z receiver.
Okay. And while we're talking, Foley, some of our listeners do not understand Z, Y, and those positions. If you would care to elaborate on that.
Great point. So you can think of there's usually 3 or 4 wide receivers on the field at a time. Your X receiver is generally, and I use these terms a little bit more loosely, but generally speaking, your X receiver is often your number 1, but not always your number 1 receiver. But it's more about where he lines up on the field. He's going to be on the outside, on the line of scrimmage. So he's the one who's going to get the most press coverage. So you've got to be able to shed off corners who are pressing at the line of scrimmage.
Quick feet and strong.
That's right. You want them to be physical, strong, and ideally, like perfect world, they can also get downfield. But the most important things are just physicality at the catch point and physicality off the line and just being a good route runner. Your C is the other outside receiver, but he's playing off the line, so he doesn't get pressed as much. There, it's more about just pure route running ability. Ball skills are a little bit less important because there's going to be fewer contested catch situations. Just being a good route runner, if you're fast, all the better. I really like a fast Z.
That's. I was fixing to bring that up. That's usually where the fast guy is.
That's right. A lot of NFL teams don't use the Z that way, which always
weird. Yeah.
I like a very fast Z, and then you have the slot receiver, who is, what it sounds like is more going to be your yards after the catch a lot of times, or at the very least, smooth the chains type of receiver. Then I also have a 4th bucket I'm trying out this year, which is just pure deep threat. I don't care if they're good at anything else. They just get behind the defense. Your Khalif Raymond types or your Rashid Shaheed types, those types of guys. Like, can you just be, if I already have a pretty good wide receiver room, and I just want one extra weapon to take the top off the defense once or twice a game. Alec Pierce, maybe.
Yeah.
That's my fourth bucket.
That's going to be the guy in fantasy football that has 2 catches for 30 yards.
Exactly.
Yeah. He could be 2 for 90 and a touchdown, or he could be 2 for 30 and that's it.
You love him for basketball and you'll hate him for regular fantasy.
So Jordan Tyson, what I got is he produced when he was healthy.
Yeah, that's the thing.
33% of his college career, he was hurt. So saying that, also not a great conference. Take that to effect. Not a whole lot of great teams to play against. And then the thing I put is he has a 60% chance to hit.
Okay. I like these percentages you're doing. I really like that. That's a nice touch.
Thank you.
I agree. Like he's a very, very good route runner. He's super twitchy in a way, but he's also pretty fluid, not just twitchy. But it's what you said. The injuries are so bad. He's dealing with a hamstring right now.
Still hasn't ran.
Yeah, he hasn't run because I mean it was back in the fall that it was October that he had this hamstring injury, and apparently still bothering him, and that worries me a lot. But
Yes.
On field, when he's healthy, I really like him. I keep thinking about, and it took him a couple of years to break out, but he finally did. Michael Wilson was a wide receiver who I loved when he came out, but he had this very long injury history that scared teams off. But we see him now. We see what Michael Wilson did this past year. Won me a championship. I think the skill sets are a little bit different between these two. But yeah, the injuries are a concern. But if he's healthy, he
could be great. He could be.
Yeah, and again, I don't have like just a straight 1 through 30 of all the receivers, and that it's alignment dependent and where they end up. But I think he is one of the top wide receivers in this draft class if he can stay healthy.
All right, let's move on to, I got Makai Lemon.
Yeah, that's I think that's most people's number 2, honestly. Why don't you kick it off? I have thoughts.
All right.
Sure.
What I got out of it, he produced in most of his big college games. That was like, top 25 teams. He produced. I think he had like 2 games in his career, like against Notre Dame. It wasn't very good, but that kind of run game situation. But anyway, he is a mild burner. He can break away a big play, but saying that, also have him at a 60% chance hit rate.
So I have like a ceiling comp and a floor comp for him.
Okay.
And look, the guy that most people are comping into, I don't quite agree with it. Most people are comping into Amon-Ra St. Brown.
No, I don't see that.
I mean, I swear it's just because they went to the same school.
Probably.
Just be a lesson to our listeners.
Yeah.
It is so easy to compare players to other people in the same position that went to the same school.
Yes.
Don't do it. That's lazy. We're going to talk about, I'm just going to go ahead and say, we'll talk about Malachi Fields later, and everyone's comparing him to Michael Pittman right now. It's just because they went to the same school. Stop it. Stop doing it. Bad. But here's what I will say. I like Lemon. Some people love Lemon. I like Lemon. I have some concerns about him. I don't even know where to begin. I'm just going to start with my comps, okay? Best case scenario, he's Puka Nacua.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, he's Khalil Shakir with some off-field issues.
I agree with that one.
So yeah, let's get that out of the way. He did get suspended for part of one game because of violating some team rules. He is also, if you watch any of the interviews he had or his press conference at the draft, this dude just seems like a psychopath, and I say that in respect.
Yeah, I'm sorry, like you said, like his questions, it was like, what did you think about the game? And he was like, man, that Lamborghini was awesome. He's like, what? What are you talking? I mean, it's just random, just like you said, psycho stuff.
Wide-eyed, and maybe he was just really, really nervous. The reports are that he was the same way in like one-on-one interviews with scouts. So that wide receivers have this tendency already to be psychotic. Is he another Jermaine Burton? I don't know. I'm not saying that, but there's at least some character concerns.
I was thinking Antonio Brown. A little, a few hits to the head.
Yeah, you got to worry about that, unfortunately. What I will say, most people are projecting him just as a slot receiver. I actually think he is more than that. He has been best in the slot for sure, but I actually like him as this sort of inside-outside player who rotates between slot and the Z. He's not an X receiver. He's not physical enough for that. He did that. I think he had one game where he tried to play the X this year and it went horribly. Like he just could not handle press coverage. But he can be kind of physical at the catch point. He's very small. He's not as small as I expected him to measure in at, but he's still small. He's 5'11", 192. So he's like stocky, but a little on the shorter side. But he's a very good route runner. He does most things well for the sort of inside-out player, which what Puka Nacua is.
I think he would be. He has the chance to be a very good number 2.
Yeah,
the chance.
Yeah, or again, like I think he even could be number 1. I'm not saying that's the most likely thing, but it's in his range of outcomes to be a very good number 1 like Puka Nacua. But even if he fails, assuming he doesn't end up getting suspended, assuming he doesn't go crazy, let's just assume that's the case. I think worst case he's like Khalil Shakir, which is ideally a number 3, but can work as a number 2.
So all right, so let's move on. Okay, so this is where we're going to start getting off the rails. This could go. I'll just start with somebody you enjoy, Omar Cooper.
Yeah.
So the floor is yours, sir, because we will disagree.
Okay. He's one that I like a lot. I want to like him more than I do, but I do like him a lot. And he's one that I actually think is a much more fair comparison to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Not saying that caliber. I'm not saying that caliber of player, but that style of player. Or you could even say Olamide Zaccheaus if you prefer. Who is a worse version of that same style.
I'll give you that.
He's a big slot. He's 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, but he was almost exclusively out of the slot this year. I ended up not even projecting him. Like I didn't put him in my rankings for outside receivers because he just didn't play outside this year. He was strictly a slot player, but I do think he can live on the outside. So I think that's his tool bag. I mean, look, he's not the most polished wide receiver, but and he was a slow build. I know this is something you hate, where he wasn't throughout his career awesome. He had his best year this year by far. I think double.
Yeah, way above. Yeah.
And I know that bothers you. It doesn't bother me as much. It's something like I clock it, but I don't let that be the end of the world for me. Let me see where I have him. I'm not crazy on him. To me, he's not quite a first round wide receiver at this point.
No.
I see him as a second rounder. A lot of people like pick him in the first. There are other slots I like more, including Makai Lennon. So, and again, I didn't rank him on
on your board. What rank is he? No, just in your wide receivers. Just in your wide receivers.
Yeah, I mean he is slot wide receiver number 4 for me.
Okay.
And I did not rank him for the other spots because he just doesn't play enough on the outside. It's a pure projection. Anything you think he can do on the outside.
All right. He is a decent wide receiver. Don't think he's great. You're going to hate me for this. If he makes it, he'll be a wide receiver number 3 and also have a 50-50 chance to make it.
50-50 chance. So you're saying a 50-50 that he's even a wide receiver 3?
Yes.
That's perfect.
We'll get down a little bit. I like Surratt better.
James Bone.
So
I'm going to pause right here.
Okay.
Just to ask real quick, and apologies to our audience for this. Are we sure we're recording? Before we go any further, can we just be 100% sure we're recording?
We're here, buddy. We're there.
Okay. Not that we would ever just be talking like this and forget.
Never have we done that. So look, we'll move on to the second Indiana wide receiver, Elijah Surratt. I will say this. He produced in every year on the college level. That's huge. Saying that, at the most, he's a wide receiver number 2. I would also say he has a 50-50 shot to be a wide receiver number 2. Like I said earlier, there are so many guys in this draft that are going to be like 50-50. If they make it, they're going to be great, but there's a good chance they could 2 years and be out of the NFL.
So he's one that I think I would comp to a Makai.
I'll give you that.
Where and everyone's gonna look. I'm saying this as someone who loves Igbuka. I think the Igbuka hype train got a little bit crazy over the course of the last season. We saw the very best version of it when Mike Evans got hurt. Evans got hurt. He looked like a wide receiver 1. I really don't think Igbuka is that guy. I think he's an extremely talented wide receiver 2. I see the same thing with Sadiq, where I don't think there's not much to hate about his tape, but he also just doesn't wow you a ton. He's just productive and consistent. I mean, if I wanted to nitpick, it's that he was, and I've used this against other receivers in the past, but his route tree was basically slants, hitches, goes. And he wasn't doing much else. And it wasn't like he was burning people on the goes either. Slants are where he was at his best. So that's I guess what I would really nitpick about him. He's not super fast.
He is the definition of a blue plate special. A meat, 2 size, and a roll. I mean, it's going to get you there.
Maybe you can. Actually, I might like this comp better than Makai Igbuka now that I think about it. Tyler Lockett.
That's a good one. Solely a possession receiver.
Exactly right. He's a possession receiver. He's going to press X as he catches the football, basically.
I like that. I think that is more of in line.
Yeah. Let me see where I don't even remember where I have Sadiq ranked. So let me check that. I do have him as an X, but please understand, X does not always mean the best wide receiver in the field. It's a main alignment thing. I have him as the number 9 X wide receiver.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to Mr. Denzel Boston. How do you feel about him?
I think I like him more than you do.
Okay. Go ahead. Tell me why.
I just think, he is one of those really physical guys. I know, when I see someone like that, I immediately want to comp them to Mike Evans, and he's not as big as Mike Evans, but he's not small. He's 6'3", 210, 212, something like that. And he's very, very physical. He's also faster, I think, than Mike Evans, but he just has this physical play style. He's big. He's good at the catch point. He really is a bully at the catch point. Mm-hmm. Maybe you could compare him to Drake London or George Pickens. Those are guys that also come to mind for me. And I'm drawn to that. If you're just really good at ball skills, even if you're not the fastest in the world, and you just get off the press man, he's my number 2 X receiver for that reason. I think that Carnell Tate is the only one better than him in this draft class at this sort of outside stuff, the kind of stuff that we've been saying for a year plus now that Buffalo needs so desperately.
Absolutely.
I love Buffalo. I think he's better at that role than DJ Moore is. So that's my thing. What do you think?
Okay. I want to like him. I really do. I think he's good. Let's see. My problem is in big games, he didn't produce. Against Kent State, he had 130 yards, but when it came to Oregon, 50 yards. And don't quote me on the stats. I'm just pulling that out of my butt. But he didn't produce in big games. Once again, he would be a awesome 50-50 catch guy, like you said, like the Mike Evans. Great at that position, but can he make it to that? You know what I mean? Like the routes and all that. But I got him at the most a wide receiver number 2, and once again, he is a 50-50.
Yeah, at this point, they're probably all 50-50s. I'm not going to say you're wrong on that.
Oh, I got some diamonds in the rough, my friend.
I know one that you love. I wish I loved, but I don't. I hate it. So why don't you go ahead and cue up the next one?
I will bring out my good friend, Mr. Casey Concepcion. And when you say You gotta say conception.
Let me just say, he seems like a phenomenal human being.
That's good. I appreciate that. Just bringing out the good in people.
I hope it works out for him. I really do. Like, he seems like such a sweet kid. I mean that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, as good as he is.
Oh, here we go.
Listen, he
Yeah, okay. Do what now?
He's pretty fast. He's a good route runner. He's a fluid route runner. I will give him all that.
Yeah.
None of that matters to me if you can't catch the football.
Okay.
He had more than a 10% drop rate this year. And even the ones he catches, like, I watch it, he's constantly body catching, or he's doing the double tap, double catch. And that, I can't abide it. I'm sorry. It's just not for me. The one that he reminds me of the most in this respect is DK Metcalf, who has been a great wide receiver, a very good wide receiver. I will admit, he's a good wide receiver, but I think he's not as talented with the other stuff as DK Metcalf was.
Yeah.
Not as big as DK Metcalf was. And so if you're not, you really can't afford to have these bad ball skills. And as much as I like the rest of his tape, and I really do like the rest of his tape, he's just not good at catching the football. He's not good at receiving, and the position name is receiver.
I would like to counter argue this. First, he produced in the SEC on a meh team with a terrible quarterback, which would explain the bad balls and the drops. So that's what I'm saying. Saying that, I would like to comp him to Devontae Smith, and I think he has a 60% chance to make it. That's all I got. Don't do that. You don't see Devontae Smith? I see it. It's there. I mean, you got to squint your eyes a little bit, but he's there.
No, I don't guess I ever would have thought of Devontae Smith. I see players who are, I'm sorry, I've already used this comp once, kind of. No, I didn't. I guess I didn't actually use this comp, but I mentioned his name earlier. Alec Pierce, but smaller than Alec Pierce.
Yeah.
You're not quite as fast as Alec Pierce, and also worse ball skills than Alec Pierce.
The ball skills was because of his terrible quarterback.
No, that doesn't matter.
It does.
Bad quarterback doesn't mean you're catching with your body. You're catching with your chest. You're doing the bobble catches. Bad quarterbacks don't lead to 10% of the ones that hit you in the hands.
Yes.
Up on the ground.
Yes, they do. They absolutely do.
None of these hit you in the hand.
Whatever. All right, go. We'll move on. Since I pulled one out of the bottom, I'll give you your shot.
Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting the chance to do this.
Because my next two are further down in the list, and that's the only ones I.
Let me give you a weird one, and we'll come back to some of the bigger names that maybe neither of us actually like. But I'm going to give you a weird one. I'm going to give you Skylar Bell.
I like him. I do. He's very sneaky.
He is, and I think he can play really anywhere on the field. He's skinny. That's the problem. He's a little skinny to be playing outside, but man, he was really, really productive. I think he's the best slot receiver in this class. I'll start there. I want to see him in the slot. I think that is where he's best.
He's got to put on some weight to be that slot.
He is thin for sure. Let me get an updated measurement on him.
A couple of hits by the linebackers, and he's going to be
I want to say he put on some weight. He ended up weighing in heavier at the draft than I expected. Yeah, so he came in actually 192 at the combine.
Oh, okay. I get that. He's fine.
5.
He's fine.
Yeah, I think that's fine. And I mean, he passes the test to not be too small, right?
Yeah.
And having done that, I know the competition thing, which you care more about than I do. But I get it. He played at UConn. It's not great. The level.
I still like him. I can get back. I can get past that. And you'll. I got two more that you'll be like, oh, okay. So
yeah, he was so consistent, and he was very good with the ball in his hands, yards after catch. He's really good at that. He doesn't just get tackled as soon as he catches it. So, and I think he's just tough to cover when you have him on in-breaking routes, especially. it's really hard to keep up with him. So I'm a big fan of Skylar Bell.
All right, so I'm going to take one. Shout out Mississippi, Chris Bale. Really good wide receiver with another terrible quarterback.
And another big problem, even though I also like him.
Go ahead. Oh, the
injury.
Oh, well, yeah, I still like him though. I think once again, and saying all this, he's a wide receiver 3 if he hits, and I got him as a 60% chance to hit.
Yeah, he's one that, like, it bothers me. It doesn't sound like he's going to be ready to play week 1.
Yeah.
Like, that's my only concern. I really like, otherwise, assuming he recovers from, it was an ACL tear, assuming he recovers from it well, I think he's great. I think he's big. He's fast. He's not just fast, but he's generally athletic. He's got some agility as well. His ball skills are fine. I like him a lot. If it weren't for the injury, I would. He's a first round draft pick. At one point, I did have him as a first round draft pick, and I'm going back and forth. Like, do I move him out?
I got you. Yeah,
injury. But I'm with you. I like him a lot. I have him. Where do I have him? I guess not as high as I thought, but I still do like him. I have him as the number 7 X receiver. I guess I accounted for the
injury.
Yeah, so I have him as the number 7 X wide receiver. And like I said, I don't have a ton bad to say about him.
Just the injury. Yeah.
Just the injury. Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Give me another one of your guys.
All right, I'm going to pull deep from the well here, but this is one of my guys, and it shouldn't necessarily be a surprise. But I already said Skylar Bell. Sorry, Bryce Lance, brother of Trey Lance,
North Dakota
State.
Couldn't cut it in the SEC, so he stayed at North Dakota. Is that the same? Is that the same guy we're talking about?
I love his quarterback, and I love him too. I mean, look. I get it. Level of competition. Fine. I think he's also just loyal. Like, his brother went to school there, so he's going there too. This dude is a freak athlete for sure. I mean, these are his I know underwear Olympics, whatever. I think this is interesting sometimes to talk about.
You know who else was a freak athlete? Robert Nambijiki. Yeah, the guy who jumped out of the window to steal some milk. Yeah, that guy. He was a freak too. So go ahead.
6'3", 204, 4.34 40 time.
Sounds great.
Beautiful, fast, and big, and he played like it. Like, he played very fast and very strong at the same time. That's what I'm a sucker for.
Division 2. But go ahead.
I get it, and that's why he's not going to be a first round draft pick. Like, I understand. That's why he won't be that. But he is just so big and strong and fast, and I'm a sucker for that. Like, anytime you start to look, if you have the build and athleticism of Randy Moss,
yeah.
I'm going to say, who also went to a smaller school, and Calvin Johnson went to a smaller school, not Division 2, granted, but still, smaller schools. I love all the best wide receivers in the NFL actually went to Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Calvin Johnson, all went to small schools.
Yeah, but then you got Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase.
And okay, are you saying those guys are on the level of Jerry? I love those guys, don't get me wrong, but are those guys Jerry Rice, Calvin Johnson,
give it time.
Listen, I'm not like totally saying, of course he went to small schools. He's good.
I know what you're saying. I know. I'm just messing with you.
Man, tell me. I mean, besides the fact that it's just a small school, low level competition.
No, you can have him. I got my last one that I really want to say anything about is Chris Brazil, however you say his last name. He produces in big games. 55% chance to hit.
That's too high.
Wide receiver 2.
That's too high. Listen, I understand there are things to like about Chris Brazil, but we've been through this enough with Tennessee wide receivers, right? The only one that's been successful is Cedric Tillman. That's your most successful one to come out of this offense.
No, you cannot compare him to Cedric Tillman.
I mean, the more apt comparison is Jalen Hyatt. That's the more honest comparison. Like, that's the role. And it's Jalen Hyatt.
But the only thing about that, Hyatt didn't get he got put in a bad situation.
Well,
He's better than where he's at on the depth chart.
No, that's not true.
Stop.
Enough out of Hyatt. Hyatt is just not a good. I wanted Hyatt to work out. Don't get me wrong. Hyatt is not a good NFL wide receiver. He has had opportunities. The Giants went through so many injuries. He had opportunities to step up and could not. He was getting beaten out by these not good wide receivers.
Well, okay, saying that, I'm not saying he's going to be great, but
and he might be good. He might be good. This is my thing. It's just impossible to know because of the offense he played in. And I'm gonna recap some of this for our fans who don't know. It sounds like we've had some new fans come in lately who maybe haven't heard me talk about the Tennessee offense in years past. So this offense runs a derivative of the Art Briles offense. Their head coach comes from this coach named Art Briles, who it's sort of a hybrid between air raid and veer and shoot. But what it does is it makes it impossible to project wide receivers, especially, but also quarterbacks into the NFL, and even running backs to a lesser extent, but especially wide receivers. They line up like at the sideline.
Yeah,
and that was what Raza was doing all year. Is he was lining up all the way over at the sideline at a wide enough split that you'll just never see in the NFL. And it's schemed open, like it's everything is the play design, and it works great for college. This is not me knocking the Tennessee offense. It's a brilliant scheme at the college level that gets him completely uncovered. And when he's not going to be the target, he's not even running his route. Like he's walking through his routes. He's never asked to block. They tell him to just save himself for when he's going to be the target. And that just makes it impossible to project. Is this guy actually remotely a good NFL player? Is this guy a good route runner? Can this guy separate? We have no idea. And I think anyone who says definitively yes or no is kidding themselves because there's just no way to project it based on that offense. It was the same thing with Jalen Hyatt. It's been the same with every Tennessee wide receiver in the last several years.
See, I think he's better than those guys, but we'll disagree on this one. Do you have anybody else that you want to talk about wide receiver?
I'm not going to spend a ton of time on them necessarily, but some names we should bring up. I'm going to mention Zachariah Branch, who I have mixed feelings about. I like him as a slot receiver, but we talked about at the beginning, there's projection with so many of these guys. He was this gadget player in college where almost all of his catches were behind the line of scrimmage. It was all like handoffs and screens and Cordell. Who was the guy you liked that I kept saying that's Cordell Patterson 2.0?
Oh, I can't think of his name. Savion
Williams. Yeah,
yes.
he reminded me of Savion Williams.
No, he's not even close to Savion Williams.
I think he's more athletic than Savion Williams, but he's a lot smaller than Savion. Don't get me wrong, but he's another one of those just sort of gadget players that's very, very hard to project. But I can see a world where he's a good slot receiver. Maybe he's like a Wan'Dale Robinson type. So I want to shout him out. Brennan Thompson is this year's like once a game get behind the defense type of guy. He's crazy fast. He ran a 4.2 something.
Who is it?
Brennan Thompson from Mississippi State.
Oh, him. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Listen, no, I'm not saying like wherever he goes in fantasy, guys, do not draft him except in best ball. But in best ball, you should probably draft him because he's this guy who will once or twice a game just get behind the defense and that's it. He's not going to do anything else. So you'll randomly have a game where he's got 50 yards and a touchdown on one catch. But a lot of people are going to be interested in him. So I figured we should talk about him. Just looking through my list.
Okay, look. I'll say this. Zachariah Branch, how many 100-yard games did he have in his career at Georgia?
3.
2. That says it all right there. Can't produce. Brennan Thompson had one good year. One.
And he was definitely a one-year wonder.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Or scrubs. Listen, again, he is just a designated deep draft. Where I would draft Brennan Thompson is if I'm a team like Cincinnati that's already got a really good wide receiver room, and I just want to add this super fast guy that I can draft on some routes every once in a while. That's where I would like to have a Brennan Thompson. In fantasy, I don't want to touch him except in best ball if he goes to a good spot. Other names I'll throw out there, Some people are interested in DeJohn Stribling from Ole Miss. I'm not. I don't really have much to say about him. I'm not. He's fine, but I'm not into him. Some people love Malachi Fields. I was kind of surprised you didn't bring him up.
Nah.
I'm more with you. I'm not crazy about him, but a lot of people are really, really crazy about him. Antonio Williams is another one, a slot receiver that some people like. I don't like him that much. And I am so relieved you didn't bring this player up because I thought you would.
Go ahead.
Jeremy Bernard.
No. Yeah. No. I don't see it.
Yeah.
Look, and I will say this. I mostly go by stats. Did you produce in big games, or that kind of thing? I know, but at a certain point, you got to go. I just don't like him. I don't see it. I don't see it.
We agree on that. I just expected you to like him because he did produce. They force fed him the ball. He got a lot of yards. He just didn't ever look good doing it to me.
Did not, yeah. And he's not very. I mean, he's not like just a big stature person either. And I mean, I could see if he was like 6'5", 215, like like a DK or somebody like that. I could see that then, but like, it don't make sense.
I'm with you, and then probably just two more names that I think are worth mentioning. Number one, I'm not calling him a diamond in the rough, but it wouldn't surprise me if he turns out to be the diamond in the rough of this draft. Ted Hurst from Georgia State.
Hey, I wasn't gonna bring this up, but if you go to my top 20 offensive players down here, number 20, Ted Hurst. Like him.
He's very talented. It's one of those situations where he didn't have a good quarterback.
That's right.
He didn't have anything to really even have a good sense of whether, kind of like what I said about Brazel, except he didn't even have a good system so that he could be productive. But he does look talented. He looks very, very talented. He looks like a good route runner. He looks fast. So it wouldn't shock me if he breaks out. Tesla for Detroit this past year kind of is who he reminds me of, where he just didn't have the opportunity to show anything in college. But yeah, I can see it. I can see him being very, very good. So look out for that. And then one receiver that some people are going to want to work out, and they're going to want him to be the next Tank Dell or the tiny guy that Tampa Bay drafted last year.
One second. This is a refreshing Coke Zero.
Oh, is that our sponsor for the day?
That's just product placement.
Hit us up, Coke. Dion Burks. I just don't see
it. He to me, he's like Bernard. Bernard. Well, yeah, I agree with that, but I'm just saying that's the type of vibe I get from him. And it's just like, yeah, whatever.
He's so small, and yet they used him as like an X receiver.
That's probably why they lost in the playoffs.
Yeah. It's just weird. It's just weird. He's a weird player. And again, I'm blanking on the tiny wide receiver that Tampa drafted last year. I'm not sure you would remember.
Tez Johnson.
Tez Johnson. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yes. Like, I can get it. Like, some people, after Tank Dell and Tez Johnson, people are just rooting for these small wide receivers to work out.
Yeah, but if nobody would realize, well, maybe some of you have, but the NFL is moving away from the 5'9", the Devontae Smith type player. They're going bigger. So just something to think about.
I think that's for the best. I mean, Dion Burks is like 5'8", I think.
That's yes.
Okay, he measured in at 5'9" at the combine. That's yeah. I really thought he was 5'8". He is tiny. 5'9", 180. But he ran a 4.3, and people are going to latch onto that.
Listen, please don't latch onto these 40s. Just please don't.
No.
All right.
Yeah, and the rest aren't worth. I mean, I can just call out names on my list, but they're so low. It's like Caleb Douglas is, I think, terrible. I don't like Jacoby Lane, CJ Daniels.
Well, I mean, there's a bunch of them that you could go, it could happen, but that's
yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. What? Yeah. All right, let's move on to my favorite position, the tight end.
Yeah, you're a big fan of tight ends in general?
I like me a tight end. Anyway, I think the consensus would be Mr. Sadiq, correct?
You know who else likes tight ends? Mike Vrabel. Hey,
Whoa. Come on now. All right. So Sadiq, the only thing I can really say is prospect. Could be Kyle Pitts. Could be a big bust. I can't think of a bust right now.
you think Kyle Pitts is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That kind of is what it is. So saying that, look, he's got a 50-50 shot. He could be. I think it's going to be terrible. A draft. What is it? I think a team's going to waste a draft pick in the first round, like in the top 20, and get him. I don't see it. Now, if he got like third round, great, but he's not a first round tight end.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is probably a point in the first round where it is worth the gamble on him, but I have huge reservations about Kenyon Sadiq.
I do too.
I think you've kind of come around where when we talked about him earlier in the season, you liked him a lot more than I did.
I did.
I think we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
I mean, look, let's start with the good. Athletic freak of all freaks. All right. We've talked about some athletic freaks today. Nobody is like Kenyon Sadiq. He is one of one.
Yeah.
Again, this is where I've not referenced the combine in our first two shows nearly as much as I am this one, but I think this demonstrates 6'3", 241, 4.3940. Record for tight ends. No tight end has ever run a 4.340. I don't think any tight ends ever ran a 4.440 before this year. So he just shattered that record.
Okay, that's who I was. Jermaine Burton. He was a tight end, wasn't he?
No, Jermaine Burton was wide receiver.
Never mind. Who am I thinking? I mean, he's like Kellen with. I mean, I don't know. I like him. I just don't like where he's going to be taken. He's he's 50-50.
And this guy, like, it's hard to call him a tight end, but I don't know what to call him because I don't think he's a true wide receiver or even a slot receiver. When I watch him, I do not see a slot receiver. And I don't see it. When I watched Kyle Pitts in Florida, I saw an X wide receiver.
Yeah.
I don't even see that. He's a pretty good blocker. I would give him that. I don't know if he's an NFL caliber.
I don't think he is. And look, all the people that I'm going to bring up, there's not one good blocking tight end.
I've got a couple, but they're not the ones that are going to be fantasy relevant. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Certainly, probably the next one we'll talk about is not a good blocker at all. But as far as Sadiq goes,
I know
positionless weapon usually doesn't work out in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's usually like we just can't figure out how to use him, even though we want the ball in his hands, right? Like, if you give him the Deebo Samuel treatment, give him a lot of, like, that's honestly part of me just wants somebody to say, you're a running back. Kenyon Sadiq is a running back, and we'll use him like a Christian McCaffrey style running back. That might be the best thing that could happen to him, but I don't think anyone's ever going to be willing to try that with him.
No, it's because they're going the capital where they're going to draft him at. They're going to be like, he's got to be a tight end, and that's going to be his downfall. Like I said, he could be great, but I just don't see it.
I don't either. And like his on the field stuff, yes, he produced a lot, and yes, he's a freak athlete. I think he was just pretty good at everything, but nothing wowed me. And a lot of people were wowed when they watched his tape. I was just never wowed. He wasn't like the best ever after the catch. There's another tight end who is better after the catch than him. He's never.
I'm not putting him number 2. I can't.
That's fine. And it's not like I love the guy that I'm referencing, but I'm just saying. So it's as much as one of the themes of today's podcast is these guys are projections. This guy is a huge projection.
Yeah.
So respectfully, Kenyon Sadiq, I wouldn't want it to be my team taking him.
All right. So I'll bring up another, could be great, but probably won't. Michael Trigg.
I did not see that coming at all.
Yeah. Really good at routes. Really good. But not really good at anything else.
Yeah.
And saying that, I can't figure out a hit rate on him. I put down 45%, but then I scratched it out. But I don't know with him.
I think it's lower than that. I mean, yes, I agree. He is best at the route running stuff. I see him as a big slot. Like, I just wanted to move to slot receiver full time.
Yeah.
Just
Because he can't. He can't.
not even a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I've got tight ends broken into three buckets. I've got blocking tight ends. I've got inline tight ends, which is what most people think of, that kind of do a little bit of both the receiving and the blocking. And then I've got big slot. I just want them out there away from the line of scrimmage or away from the offensive line. And he's in that third bucket. To me, he is a move or big slot.
All right. So let's move on to Foley's favorite tight end, Eli Stowers.
Stowers is a good receiving tight end. I didn't say I love him or anything. There is actually one who I like even more as a move tight end.
Who was that?
Joe Royer. But I do think Stowers is right there behind him. And look, I don't love this tight end class. I want to be clear about that.
I don't either.
Tight end class, except for I think there are some useful blockers.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's not very many of that.
No. I know some people. The thing is, like, Stowers is a hard one to evaluate as a tight end because when he blocks, he actually is a pretty good blocker. But, and this is a huge but, he's really only ever being asked to block like corners and linebackers.
Yeah.
He's never being asked to block
defensive ends. Yeah.
Yeah, rushers. Yeah. And I don't think he's going to do well at that.
Look, I put him pretty good tight end, but not a typical NFL tight end. And that's going to be the bad for him. That's what's going to hurt him. Got him at a 40% hit.
40%. Yeah, you're optimistic with some of these. Yeah, I think that's probably about right for him. 40% sounds good. Yeah.
Oh, and saying this, Trig down, number 2 tight ends.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. So like I said, Sadiq could be one, but I don't.
Number 1 tight ends in this class, unless Sadiq works out. Look, I want tight ends who can block. I will always hate on Travis Kelce because he can't block.
Yeah.
Right. I think Rob Gronkowski is the best tight end of all time because he was an incredible blocker on top of being unstoppable in the receiving game, in the passing game. And that's why I think like Tony Gonzalez is number 2.
Antonio Gates.
Antonio Gates wasn't a great blocker. I still have him like in the top 5, but Antonio Gates is not a great blocker. Let's be honest.
All right. I got 2 more. And so you can, if you got somebody, you can throw them out there. I know you like Indiana.
I'm going to go Joe Royer from Cincinnati. He's really, really good with the ball in his hands. That's why I like him as a move or big slot tight end. Like just yards after catch, he's phenomenal at it. He's willing to block. He's not necessarily a good blocker, but he's not afraid to block. But he's slow. He's not the most polished route runner, but he's good with football and moving with it. So that's all I'll say on him. Give me your names. Again, I'm not super excited about the top. I'll show a couple at the end, but your names are probably higher on most people's list.
Tanner Kozel.
Yeah.
Great, really good catcher. Definitely a mismatch. He's 6'7", but he lacks everywhere else. 40% hit.
I think Kozel is a decent, like more classic tight end where you can do a little bit of both, which is nice. In a class that doesn't have a ton of those guys, he's all right at that.
So my last one, I really like him, but I'm afraid he's not going to do very good. RJ Maryland. Yes, I really like him, but he's probably not going to make it.
No, I wouldn't think.
Stop it, dude. Stop it. That would be my diamond in the rough.
I have him at 22.
I ain't worried about where you have him. I'm telling you where I got him.
I'm just saying.
I'm joking.
I respect you, man. I respect. I mean, hey, shout out to Uriah, who was singing the praises. We're not going to talk about the ones he missed on because he did miss on several, but he was the one singing the praises for Harold Fannin. So I'm just going to give him his flowers there for our audience. So if you want to shout out RJ Maryland, who am I?
I'm just, like I said, he's probably not going to make it. I just like him. I want to like him, but yeah. That's just my shout out. Shout out RJ Maryland. Come on. Can we get some pod NIL money from you?
Yeah, please, by all means. And look, I'll just tell you who I think is the best blocker in this draft class. And
Ohio State.
no, this guy only caught like 2 passes all year. Maybe more than that. It might have been more than that. But he was a very good blocker, and that is Max Bredesen from Michigan.
Okay, yeah.
He is just a very, very good blocker. And if that's all you care about, where you want a tight end that's basically 6 offensive linemen, Max Bredesen is your guy.
All right. You got anybody else?
I do. I just was waiting to see if you had.
I have no one else. Although I do like, Max Clare?
Yeah, a lot of people like Max Clare. A lot of people like Sam Roush. I was going to mention those two. I don't really care about them, but a lot of
I don't either. Yeah.
I like Max Clare more than I do Roush. I will say that. I mean, a couple other names before I get into the one that I actually really do like Dallin Bentley is one that could be fantasy relevant if he ends up in the right situation. Like McCree, same thing. Like they're good at receiving, even if they're not good at blocking. But then the one that I just really do like a lot, and you know this, Riley Nowakowski from Indiana.
I'm sorry.
Look, I understand why people don't see him as he's not my tight end one or anything.
Yeah.
At one point he was, and I did some reevaluation.
You listened to reason.
But
I'm sorry. All I could think was Pee Wee Herman. I'm listening for a reason. Anyway, go ahead. Shout out Pee Wee.
there's no reason he should be going as late as he's currently projected to go. Like, I think this guy should be a day 2 pick, not a day 3 pick. He is a quite good blocker, and by a lot of my metrics that I use, he was a more efficient receiver than Kenyon Sadiq or Eli Stowers. So, I mean, he's good at catching. He doesn't drop the ball, so he's good at the catch point. He's good at running routes, and he's good at doing something with the ball when he catches it. You pair all that with a good blocker, I think you've got a good tight end. And I am talking myself back into maybe he should just be my tight end. I'm not going to do it. I understand he's not a freak athlete or anything. I understand, but like he's a good football player. Like what's the guy who's like the tight end 2 for Houston that you and I both liked when he came out?
Oh gosh, I can't think of his name.
It's Ohio State, right?
No, gosh,
You know what I'm talking about. And
yeah, he's on my fantasy team.
He's just a baller. Like he's just
Stover, Cade Stover.
Cade Stover.
Yes,
he's just a football player, man.
I like. Yeah,
football player, and that's what Riley Nowakowski is.
Okay,
he's a football player, and I'm with it.
All right. So look, before we wrap things up, 2 things. One, This year's draft, I will predict, will be everybody's mock draft will not matter because the first 15 picks will go crazy. There's going to be some people you're like, oh, ain't no way he's number 4. There's going to be some up and down movement. And
it's like that every year. Now, I don't think there are going to be a ton of trades.
I don't think there will be trades. I just think there's going to be a lot of people you'll be like, he went way early or he went way late.
Yeah, I mean, that happens every year. I mean, nobody predicted
Well, I think that's what I'm saying. I think this is going to be even bigger than what it normally is.
I think about 2 years ago when we had the first 15 picks were all offensive players, and we were like, what, 5, 6 quarterbacks went in the top 12 picks? It was crazy. I mean,
how's that working out for everybody?
Pretty well for everyone, but Atlanta. I mean, to be fair, and Minnesota, I guess. But to be fair, like Caleb Williams worked out. Jaden Daniels, if he can stay healthy, is good. That's question mark. Drake May worked out.
Yeah.
Bo Nix worked out. So I mean, to be fair, it was.
Well, I mean, I was mainly talking about Penix, McCarthy, and as much as I like Daniels, the jury's still out on that one. But I think that's also more of a team issue than a player. Anyway,
listen, if you have time, one more thing. I think the people want this. I think this is why we have seen the spike in viewers. It's the mock draft.
The what?
The mock draft.
Here we. Before we get to that, here's my other thing. I've heard the rumblings on the radio shows for particular analysts who never made it in the NFL as a quarterback, but are telling people who are good quarterbacks.
Ty Simpson is QB1.
Yeah, what do you think about that? We've talked about Ty Simpson in depth, but I'm gonna let you revisit it.
Yes. So for those who don't know, the man who once walked out the back of the end zone with the ball in his hands.
That should tell you everything. But go ahead.
Detroit Lions great. We're talking about here.
Orlovsky.
Dan Orlovsky. Dan. Bless his heart.
Bless his poor little heart.
He has made the case for Ty Simpson as QB1. Now listen, I have a nuanced take on this whole situation. Okay?
I got one. It's called clickbait, but go ahead.
I do not think Ty Simpson is going to work out. This is the thing about, I'm glad you brought this up because I did want to say this. This is the thing about quarterbacks. As much as I just said at the top of like 30 to 60% hit rate, it's even worse for quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody really knows what works, what makes it to an NFL quarterback. Nobody does, right? If you were the kind of person who thought that Josh Allen would be a great quarterback, then you were not the kind of person who thought that, 5 other great quarterbacks would be great. Like, it's just, if you liked Josh Allen, you did not like Joe Burrow. We could say that, right? Like,
I see where you're coming from, yeah.
Things that project are so random and scattershot.
Well,
even looking at Josh Allen, like there was a 20-year period where prospects who looked like Josh Allen did not work out. And then you had Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert.
Yeah, I mean, for every Josh Allen, there's 3 or 4 Jamarcus Russells.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's...
And so if you say, like, this is the kind of quarterback I like, you're going to have those ones that really worked out, and then you're going to have the busts, no matter what kind of quarterback it is you like. So if you're consistent, it's still a crapshoot. And I say all that to say, Ty Simpson is not my cup of tea. He's not your cup of tea. There are parts of Dano's arguments that, okay.
Little parts. Yeah.
But then he takes it way too far. And he says things like, well, if he were bigger, and
if he didn't get sick,
at a part of the year,
yeah,
and had won more games, and Mendoza hadn't been good, yeah, and if I were faster and stronger and less injury prone, I'd be in the NFL too. I mean, come on, Dan.
Let's call it what it is. Yeah.
And then he goes on, and I know your take is slightly different on this than mine, but I think you'll mostly agree with me. He goes out and says, what big games did Fernando Mendoza ever win? We're talking about the national champion here.
The one thing I will give you about Fernando, he did win the big games. Did he perform well in the big games? Was his stats good in the big games? No. But he won. And that's what matters. He is a national champion, and can't nobody take that away from him. However, I don't like him.
I know you don't. But Dano's take, parts, again, there were little parts of it that I found reasonable, even if I disagreed with. I disagree with what he's saying, but I'll defend to the death his right to say it.
Yeah.
And he went too far. I usually disagree with Dan Orlovsky. He's someone who just like,
so
look, Matthew Stafford's back up, and he just tends to think that anyone who can even potentially make it in the NFL, anyone who has any sort of physical ability, athletic ability, is just the greatest quarterback of all time, because these are things that Dan O could never do.
Will Ty Simpson go in the first round?
I am beginning to think he will, because somebody's going to be desperate enough. I don't think he should.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to be desperate enough.
I was just wondering, who do you think's desperate? Arizona?
The Jets have The Jets have 2 first-round picks, so I could see them spending their second on it. Do the Rams want to make him Stafford's backup and like successor in waiting with one of the picks? Like I can see it with some of these teams, right? The Steelers, of course, are desperate for a quarterback.
Kenny Pickett 2.0.
Kenny Pickett 2.0, yes. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like I think he could end up in that.
Yeah.
The Steelers drafted Kenny Pickett because there weren't any good quarterbacks, but they just needed a quarterback. And that could be what happens with Ty Simpson.
All right, let's get into your draft.
Let's do it. This is what the fans have been waiting for.
Absolutely.
The full first round. I'm going to share my screen here. Last time, let's see, at some point, it's going to share my screen. You can't see it yet, can you?
No, I can't see it.
That's weird.
There it is. There it is. Oh, we're moving. We're shuffling. There it is.
There. Good deal. We got it. We are so bad. So I'll do odds. You'll do evens. Last time you did the odds, and I did evens.
Are we doing who we would pick, or are we just who we think?
However you want to do it. I like to do a little bit of both. Like I like to combine my stuff with what I think they'll do. Meet somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
But however you do it, But I've got the Raiders, and I'm not going to mess around. We all know who it's going to be. It's Fernando Mendoza, and the Jets are now on the clock.
Oh, give me Reese.
Arvell Reese, again, a projection player. Everyone thinks he's going to be able to play the edge. I don't know if he can or not. Probably he can. That puts the Cardinals on the clock at number 3. And I am going to, every time it comes up, I've got to do it. I think Spencer Fano is the best offensive lineman in this draft. I think he's a tackle. He can play either side of the line. I'm going with Spencer Fano.
Give me Love.
And the Titans take Jeremiah Love at number 4 overall, like in the insane team that they are. And now the Giants are on the clock. And I'm going to say this is where let's do it. Sonny Styles, I love you, man. Give it to him.
Give me Tate.
Carnell Tate to the Cleveland Browns, and James rejoices. And now the Commanders are on the clock. They can't take Jeremiah Love, which I wouldn't have given them to anyways. They really need an edge rusher. I think it's kind of crazy that it's taken this long for the edge rushers to go off the board. I love Reuben Bain. I think he's a slam dunk pick for them.
Give me Bailey.
New Orleans Saints take David Bailey, who I think is also a great pick. And then the Kansas City Chiefs are on the clock. What do? Oh, man. You and I have talked about the fact that Thieneman might be a better safety than Caleb Downs. But I wonder if the Chiefs would look at Downs and just say, we can't pass up a guy like this.
Look,
I never get the chance to draft guys like this. Or Mansour Delane. I could see either one. Yeah, I'm going to give the Mansour Delane. They just traded away one of their corners. They're going to replace him with Mansour Delane.
Give me Downs. I was fixing to say I would take either Downs or Thieneman right here.
And so which one are you going with?
Give me Downs.
Yeah. Just keep him in Ohio. Cincinnati Bengals take Caleb Downs, then replace Jesse Bates after all these years. And that puts the Dolphins on the clock. They need everything. But you know what? Keep him in Miami. Francis Maui Noah. Maybe he has to kick into guard for them. I think that's fine, but he's a good trench player. Yeah, I like it when you can keep a player right in the same area. So Francis Maui Noah to the Dolphins.
All right. Give me what's the other cornerback we like? What's his name? Give me the cornerbacks.
Ooh. I love Chris Johnson, personally.
Okay, I'm not taking him there. All right, go back to overall, or go to linebackers.
Yep. I think Jacob Rodriguez is a perfect Dallas type of linebacker.
Oh, but that's early.
I mean, that's just BADP. Yeah.
I know. Give me a defensive line.
Right.
Oh, give me Mesidor.
Hakeem Mesidor, 28 years old. No, he's just like 24, but still. The Rams have their pick now. So a lot of people like them taking Makai Lemon. I don't really see it. Let me look at the tackles. Who do I like next? A tackle. I'm going to go too early for Caden Proctor. Some people will say yes. I'm going to say they probably like Monroe Freeling more. I'm going to give him Monroe Freeling, but I thought about Caden Proctor. Ravens.
Give me Lemon.
Makai Lemon to the Ravens. Oh, I hate that pick. That's another, still not solving the exact kind of wide receiver.
I know, but I feel like they're going to have to take a wide receiver there.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. Trade down, but whatever.
The Bucs, there's a lot of different positions they could go. Do they take Kenyon Sadiq?
I'd be so mad. If they get, but they probably will.
15 is where I think Kenyon Sadiq is in play. Like I'm really open to it at that spot. And in fact, no, I can't be the one who takes Sadiq. I've got to make you take Sadiq. I'm not doing it. No. You know what? They need linebacker help. What's his name? Just finally retired. You didn't take Jacob Rodriguez earlier?
Take him.
I'm going to do it. I like Jacob Rodriguez a lot.
I think that's way too early, but whatever. Give me Jordan Tyson.
All right. Hamstring it all to the Jets. I think he's a great compliment to what's his name? Garrett Wilson.
Gosh, Thienemann's still there.
Who they desperately need offensive line help. I don't care about anything else. We need to get them. Let's give them Caden Proctor, who can play tackle. He can play guard, whatever they need.
Give me Thienemann. 100%.
A lot of people are saying Thienemann to the Vikings makes too much sense. And the Panthers, again, I'm just not going to be the one to take Sadiq in this draft. I'm going to leave it up to you to do that.
They would be the crackhead team to do it.
I don't think they would. A lot of people are saying Sadiq to the Panthers. I've said this on the podcast already, but there is someone in that front office who hates tight ends. And so hates taking tight ends early. So I have a hard time seeing that they'll do it unless he just gets overruled. So, I mean, I don't love the spot for Carolina, though. This is kind of rough. Do we give them another wide receiver? Maybe. No, you know what? I like Kate McDonald here. They really wanted to go after last year, the guy that New England, Milton Williams. They really wanted Milton Williams last year. New England outbetted them. They're going to finally get their big defensive tackle in Kate McDonald.
All right, give me Jared McCoy. Jermon McCoy.
Let's see. For the Dallas Cowboys, for our listeners.
Yes.
Watching. And then the Steelers are on the clock. Do they take Ty Simpson here? I can't do it. I can't be the one who makes them do it. But it could happen, folks. It could very well happen. I'm going to give them a guard. And let's see. Mike McCarthy's running it now. I like Emmanuel Pregnon.
I like him too.
Yeah, I like Pregnon more than Ioane. I think Ioane might be a better fit for Mike McCarthy. So I'm gonna go, and it's Pennsylvania, Penn State, keeping him right in the same neighborhood. I'm gonna give him Ioane, even though I like Pregnon more. Also could stand to protect.
Well, I just think it's too early for the other one. Give me McNeil Warren.
McNeil Warren, a very good safety. Let me just say this, since we haven't really talked about defense.
I think he's good.
My thing about safeties this year, I love Caleb Downs. I love Dylan Thienemann. I like Emmanuel McNeil Warren. My problem about taking any of them in the first round is that I love this whole safety class. I think there are 10 good safeties in this class. And so as much as these top three are the best three, I wonder if it's not worth just waiting at safety because there's so many other good ones.
Well, barring certain positions of the draft, I would almost every team I would trade down. Yeah, I know.
But surely somebody will, I guess. Ooh. Now, I've been saying over and over again that I won't take Kenyon Sadiq. Can you imagine Sadiq with the Eagles, though?
That could be special.
That could be interesting to watch. So I'm gonna think about that. I'm gonna look at some other options. Who are the other edges available? Don't like any of those right here. Go tackle and guard. No. Bring on, maybe. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pull the trigger on Kenyon Sadiq after I kept saying I wasn't gonna be the one to do it. I think he could fit in an interesting way in this offense. They might use him the correct way, as much as they like to complain about Philly and how they do things. All right, Cleveland. Earlier, and you got Carnell Tate. Now who are you taking? Better be a tackle. James is going to be mad.
Yeah, give me Miller. Don't like it, but whatever. Yeah, but at the 24th pick, you shouldn't like somebody okay. That's what I'm saying.
In this class, that's all you can ask for.
Oh, Lord.
That's just the way this draft class is.
You know, I'll tell you this before saying that. I wish I took Carnell Tate off and scroll up a little bit. Yeah. Just go up, keep going. All right. In that instance, I'd rather have, what is it, Magna? Yeah, I would have took him and then come down, and I would have either went Omar or Denzel and chanced it on that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's kind of a coin flip. Like, I think you're okay going either direction there, but wide receiver tackle, no matter. That's what every Browns fan wants in the first round.
I know, but I just think, anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from. I totally with you, and I don't disagree. The Bears are an interesting one. All these defensive linemen have so many question marks on their tape for me. So let's see, are there any DIs I like here? Not really. Maybe Caleb Banks. Keldrick Falk is a pure projection. I mean, he's young and raw, and I don't really think he's going to work out. Cassius Howell, I like, but his arms are tiny, tiny, tiny. He has little dinosaur arms. But I guess
I like TJ.
You like TJ Parker? He's kind of for me. Like, I don't hate him. Let me see. I mean, do we just add another wide receiver to them? Or I'm tempted by Kenyon.
Do it.
I can't. I'm going to give them Cassius Howell, even with his tiny little arms.
All right, give me Allen.
Yeah, you take CJ Allen, Buffalo, and then San Francisco's here, and these guys might be where I end up taking Emmanuel Pregnon, although I'm interested in Mark Cooper for them. I can see that being a good fit. I can see they've got Mike Evans, so Denzel Boston feels not necessary right now, although waiting in the wings, I guess he could be. I think I'm going to take Pregnon here. Give him some offensive line help. I like Emmanuel Pregnon. He's huge, but I think he's also athletic enough for his own system, like Kyle Shanahan runs. And now Houston's on the spot.
Give me Falk.
Keldrick Falk. Just add him to that crazy defensive line.
That's right.
Kansas City, earlier they took Mansour Delane at corner. Now what can they do with their second pick? Denzel Boston is probably the pick. Let me look at the other wide receivers in case I'm forgetting anybody. But yeah, I like Denzel Boston here. They haven't had a true X in a while, and that's exactly what Boston is. Let's do it for them. And then Miami's back on the clock for you. They took Francis Malignagua earlier. Who are they taking now?
Give me Terrell.
Avion Terrell, slot corner out of Clemson. And then my Patriots are on the clock. God bless. I got to do it. Did you see the tape of Vrabel with Max Nature?
Yeah.
Tested his anchoring ability. He was getting hands on with Nature, so maybe he likes him. Going to have a right tackle to replace Morgan Moses when Moses retires. So yeah, we'll do it. Max Nature, and then you've got the last pick, Super Bowl champion.
Give me running backs.
Ooh.
And give me Jonah Coleman.
I knew you were going to do it. Oh, what a disgusting way to end the first round. I
loved it.
Jonah Coleman, but he should be in the third round, not the first.
Yeah, baby.
There we go. So quick recap for our listeners, and then we'll get out of here. Our full first round mock draft. We're like 2 weeks away from the draft now. Number 1, Raiders take Fernando Mendoza, quarterback. Then the Jets take Ohio State linebacker / edge defender. They'll use him as an edge. Jets take him. Ornell Reese. Cardinals take tackle Spencer Fano. Titans take running back Jeremiah Love. Giants take linebacker extraordinaire Sonny Styles. Cleveland Browns take wide receiver Carnell Tate. Commanders take edge defender Ruben Bain. Saints take edge David Bailey. Chiefs take corner Mansour Delane. Bengals take safety Caleb Downs. Dolphins take tackle Francis Malignagua. Cowboys take edge Akeem Mesidor. Rams take tackle Monroe Freeling. Ravens take wide receiver Makai Lemon. Again, I hate that fit. The Buccaneers take linebacker Jacob Rodriguez. Jets take wide receiver Jordan Tyson. Lions take tackle / guard Caden Proctor. Vikings take safety Dylan Thieneman. Panthers take defensive tackle Caden McDonald. Cowboys, for their second pick, take corner Jermod McCoy out of Tennessee. The Steelers take the guard out of Penn State, Ioane. I'm not going to try it. Venga, I think is how you pronounce that. Venga Ioane somehow is how. But anyways, not to make fun of his name. Chargers take Toledo safety Emmanuel McNeil Warren. Eagles finally stop the slide for tight end Kenyon Sadiq. Is he tight end or is he just a positionless weapon? Who knows? Is he a joker? I think he's a joker. Browns take tackle Blake Miller. Bears take edge Cassius Howell. Bills take linebacker CJ Allen. 49ers take guard Emmanuel Kenyon. Texans take edge Keldrick Fall. Chiefs take wide receiver Denzel Boston. Dolphins take slot corner Aviam Terrell. Patriots take right tackle Max Ianature. And then to ruin this mock, Seattle Seahawks take Washington running back Jonah Coleman.
I wouldn't take him anyway. Question. If you were the Raiders and the Jets said, we will give you number 2 and number 16 and our number 1 next year for your number 1 spot, would you take it? Realistically.
I would be very, very tempted.
Dude, I'd stamp that. Sit it in right now. Oh.
The Jets have 2 first-round picks next year as well.
You want 4 of them?
No. I would just say I want a different 3. I don't want your 16 this year. I want your 2 this year, and I want both of your first-round picks next year. I would probably be okay with that deal.
Okay.
Not going to happen, but that's...
Crazier things have happened. All right.
Theoretically, next year's quarterback class will be better. And if you can have 3 first-rounders between 2 teams that are both expected to be bad, you have a pretty good chance of getting a good quarterback if someone like Lenore Sellers does actually turn out to be good.
All right. Well, that's all I got. I will see you guys later, Foley.
Happy drafting.
Later.
Bye.